Hi Flosstube, it's Kathy, also known as CraftyCat Stitcher, and I'm back with my second video. I have been overwhelmed and amazed by all the encouragement I've gotten and welcome from the Flosstube community with your subscriptions and comments and likes, and it's just amazing. Thank you so much. So I'm back with your encouragement. I thought what I would do today is know your needleworker. I also want to say that I have my weird glasses on today that have anti-reflective coating. I just noticed that. And it's going to look a little purple sometimes when there's light reflecting on it, but that's all right. You don't care, do you? Thanks. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into that. The first question is, where do you live? I live in Cumming, Georgia. It's north of Atlanta. It's an Atlanta suburb. What's nice about it is we're close to the mountains, and we're also close to Atlanta. So it's a very cool place to live. I love it. We've been here for about 8 years, and about 29 total in Georgia. So we're originally from Indiana, and I know I told you that in the last video. But Cumming is a great place to live, and we're really enjoying being here. What do you do for a living? I work at our local library system. I'm not a librarian, but my position is called an acquisition assistant. And basically we deal with the financial aspects of getting the books in. So I am lucky that I get to see a lot of books as soon as they come in. I get to peek inside them. And as a reader, that's big for me. So yeah, I like it. Been there for about 5 years. I've been doing that for about 5 years. I've been with the system for about 7, and so I'm enjoying it a lot. Do you have any children? Mark is my husband. We've been married for nearly 36 years, and we have one son, Matt. Matt's 30, and he's a chemical engineer, and he lives near Boston. He just got married last year, so we are fortunate to have a new daughter-in-law who we just love very much. She's great. She's perfect for Matt. They're just a great couple. She is studying to be a doctor. But Stephanie also finds time to make things. She knits. Look at what she made for me. She made these. I almost don't want to wear them. I have worn them, but look. I just admire any kind of craft that I don't know how to do. I don't knit at all. I just admire when somebody else does it. And then when you get it as a gift, it's so special. So, just love it. So, but she knits and she cross stitches and she crochets and she quilts. She needs to do her own Flosstube, but yeah, she probably doesn't have time, right? Yeah. So, do you have any pets? Yes, we have 2 cats. Cosmo is 17 and Moxie is 15. It's kind of like we have a little assisted living for cats here. They're just both up there in years. They're not going to be chasing anything. I mean, they play a little bit, but mostly they're just quiet cats, and it's just nice to have them around. Cosmo has some health issues, and Moxie is, at 15 years old, Moxie is a very sturdy little cat, and we love them. They're funny. If you ever hear any kind of meowing, that sounds like somebody's in pain. He's not. He's fine. And there he goes right now. Right when I said it, he started it. You might hear it. You might not, but yeah. So you know what? Sometime you'll probably meet him sometime. If I can pick him up, I probably won't be able to pick her up. She hates being held. He tolerates it really well. So we'll see what happens. What are your other hobbies besides stitching? I like to do beadwork. I like to make jewelry, crochet a little. I like to sew, and of course read. And I'll show you some little examples in the future videos of all those things. Did I mention I've got my weird glasses? Yeah, okay. Okay, I don't know. I'll show you some of the things I do in future videos. If you're interested in seeing them, I would like to show them to you. But those are things I like to do. And like I said, I also have a blog, and I do a lot of photographing of my crafts and put them on the blog. And I do general crafts. I was doing a thing on my blog called my monthly Pinterest attempt, and I'm taking a little break from it. But every month what I would do is I would find a Pinterest something like crafty and do it. It could be anything, but it had to do with being crafty. It could be crochet or whatever. And that was fun, but like I said, I've taken a little break and I'm going to get back to it. So my blog is CraftyCat, capital C-R-A-F-T-Y, capital C-A-T, all one word. What is your favorite movie? My sister and one of my brothers and I share the same movie, that same favorite, and don't laugh, it's Apollo 13. I'm a NASA nerd. I like anything to do with the space program. I grew up with it. NASA was born the same year I was. So, I mean, it was something that I grew up with, and it got to be a normal thing to see rockets blasting off. Oh, you know, it's another one blasting off. How cool. And I really enjoyed following it. And that movie, it was so well made. It looked good. Everything about it was really well done. And when it's on TV, even if it's like the last 15 minutes of it, I'll watch it. I mean, I know what's going to happen, and I know how it's going to happen, but I just really like that movie. Failure is not an option. What is your favorite book? My favorite book is called The Shell Seekers, and it's by Rosamund Pilcher. And I think it's like from the 90s, and it's a big, epic novel. I picked it up one day, not knowing what it was, and read it, and it's just such a good book. And I think I've read it about 3 times now. I had to show my favorite book for an event at the library, and I had so many people coming up to me and going, "Oh, that is such a good book," you know, and it was just so funny. Or so people said, "Oh, I'm going to go read that right now," and then they'd come back and say, "Oh, I'm so glad that I read that." It's just a really good book, and if you look at it, you might think it's a romance novel, and it's not. It's just, like I said, it's an epic novel that goes back in time and comes up to, well, present day then, but really good. What is your favorite music? I like anything. No, not anything. I like, most of what I like is from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Rock. My favorite group is the Beatles. And I don't love everything from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, but what I do like is from then, and that's my favorite stuff. All the concerts we've got, Mark and I like to go to concerts, and all the ones we've gone to have been groups from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And it's a lot of fun. We just really like doing that. What's your favorite TV show? I watch a lot of stuff on TV, and a lot of it probably isn't even considered good. I mean, but I like reality TV that doesn't have anything to do with dating. So I like Survivor. I think my favorite is The Great British Baking Show. If you've never watched it and you like baking, it's really a great show. Nobody argues on it. Nobody gets in fights or says mean things about anybody else. They're just so nice to each other. It's it's a competition, and they, you know, somebody gets kicked off every week, but then when they get kicked off, people cry, and I get teary, and then I learned things. I think I've learned a lot of things from watching cooking shows. So, but I think, you know, that's my favorite. Like I said, I love Survivor, and I like other things like Better Call Saul, Major Crimes, and I don't know, just all kinds of things. And what one word best describes you? I would say, I don't know, how about content? I'm pretty happy with everything in my life and the way things are, and I think that's probably a good place to be. There are probably other words that describe me too, and I'm sure that my friends and family have some words to describe me, but let's just go with content for now. I'm just happy with the way things are, so okay. And that sums that up. If there's anything else I forgot, let me know. All right, I haven't gotten a whole lot of stitching done in the past couple weeks for good reason. We went to Boston to see Matt and Steph, and so we were on vacation for a while, and there was just no time for stitching. While I was there, though, they live in Quincy, that's how you say it. They live in Quincy, and so we got to see some of the historical aspects of Quincy, Massachusetts, which is really a cool place. I mean, it's really nice. And we went to the John Adams and John Quincy Adams houses, and that was really fun to see, really interesting. Learned a lot, saw a lot of things, didn't take a lot of pictures. They did not want us taking pictures inside the houses, which I understand, so that's okay. But it was a fun experience, and of course you begin your tour and buy your tickets in the gift shop. So we're in the gift shop, and I'm looking at something, and Matt, my son, comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, Mom, did you see the cross stitch?" And I think before he was even done saying, "Did you see the cross stitch?" I think I was moving across that store. I think I moved faster at that minute than I had in a long time. And they had a cross stitch section in the gift store, and it was mostly like little, really nice little samplers, real cute. And I just wanted to get something that was really, if I was going to buy something, I wanted to get something that was special to that area and to my visit. And I found it. Abigails Wisdom. I'm going to take this out of the box. It's a little sampler, and it's called Abigail's Wisdom. Abigail Adams wrote letters to her husband, John Adams, and when they were drafting the Declaration of Independence and making new laws, and she encouraged him to, and this is a quote, "Remember the ladies and be more generous and favorable to them." Such a cute little sampler. Look at that. Oh. And it comes with silks. The little look. Isn't that neat? Silk threads. How fun. I'm going to have so much fun doing that. I learned a lot about Abigail Adams. She was way before her time. She took care of things. When her husband was not there, when he was off to Washington or to whatever other country he was visiting, she was taking care of things at home. And she even ran a spiring. I didn't know that. So that's pretty cool. But I just really love this. I do have to get my own fabric for it, but it's so cute. It says that I should get a piece of 32 count. No problem. But pretty colors, and after learning about her, just a cool thing with a lot of meaning. So fun. So I got a little bit, that was my stash haul. So I originally planned not to do any haul of any kind of stash in July because I had done a big one in June, and for me it was pretty big. And I thought, well, you know what, I really need to just work on things that I have. So I'll get to that in the future, and I'll show you some other things that I've gotten. So right now, though, that's my haul for the entire month of July, I think. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. But I did do some stitching before we went, and since I've been back. And I showed you this last time. It's Kaleidoscope by Sheena Rogers. And let me get the picture out for you. And that's the picture of it. Okay? And so cute. And so I've been working on this for a really, really long time. And I thought, I want to get something finished. I want to finish. And this one was probably the one I was closest to finishing. So I sat down, and last night I finished it. Ooh. What do you think? I have a finish, yay. She sent fabric. Her whole thing is making little cushions. And she likes these made into cushions. And she sent a backing fabric to make a cushion. And I started thinking, maybe I want to frame it. I don't know. What do you think? Give me your thoughts on that. What was funny was when I was done, I started looking through it. And because of the way the colors, there's so many little different colors in different places in this, it was really easy to skip. And I found a little one that I hadn't done, and it's just like a little green stitch that was empty. So I had to go through this really carefully to make sure that everything on it was stitched. It is solid. The white parts are off-white. So yay, Kaleidoscope is finished. Give me your thoughts. Tell me, what do you think? Frame or cushion? Okay. What I thought I was also do today, and I'm taking this idea from Drew at Weasley Studios and doing Crafty Facts. I love that idea. I think that it's a good way to share what we like to do and in the craft world. And I thought I would do that. Now I'll tell you the one Crafty Fact number 1 for today is a confession. I am a slow stitcher. Anybody else out there? Slow stitchers? I mean, it seems like the people I know can stitch so fast. People in my stitch group get so much done. I don't know what it is. I don't know, maybe it's because I am dividing my time too much between stitching and reading and stitching and other crafts. I don't know. But I'm just a slow stitcher. So, but we're not in a race, we're not in a race, right? So, does it matter? Nah. Okay. Oh, my second other crafty fact. Here's what about me. I stitch in hand for the most part. I would say 90% of the time I stitch in hand. And which means no hoop, no Q-snap, no frames, no scrolls, nothing. And it's just the way I like to do it. And I think I get pretty good tension. I mean, I keep the tension good so it doesn't wrinkle the fabrics. And I think it's okay. If it's a big project, I will use a hoop for Rainbow Row right now, excuse me, for Rainbow Row, I am using a hoop. It's a bigger project. I just feel like I need that. But for small things, not at all. I mean, I have wrist issues, and it's mostly like right in this, right here. And with just the putting my hand around something like a Q-snap is really difficult. So, and it just feels heavy on my hands. And I know that there's frames that you can have stands and you don't have to hold them, but it would just be that motion again. So I have to be really careful. So I'm for the most part, in hand stitcher. And if not, I use a trusty hoop. I did have a collection of Q-snaps because I thought, oh, this is good. And I love the idea of Q-snaps. And I think they're great. But I had this whole collection of them, just figured out really quickly that that was not for me. So one of my friends, Trish, in my stitch group said, I love Q-snaps and I just don't have any, but I have a bunch of hoops. So we did a trade. One day she came to Stitch Day and she brought me a bag of hoops in all different sizes, and I gave her my bag of Q-snaps, all different sizes. And you know, both of us are happy as clams. I guess clams. Are they happy? But we're both very happy. And she does use them. She uses Q-snaps all the time. So it was a trade that worked out really well. So that's my other one. I do have a group of stitched items that are my favorites. And one that I own that I just kept for myself. I'll show. This is Crafty Fact number 3. So one of my favorite things, and it probably has cat hair all over it, but that's okay. So does everything else. It's my pillow. This was a design from a magazine, and I couldn't even tell you what magazine it was. And it's called Square Dance. And it's from back in the 90s. It called for navy blue Ada. So that's navy. You can see it down here. And it also called for the white fabric. It was actually something called Ada Plus. And it was a kind of a stiffer and non-ravelly Ada. So you could cut it, and basically these are cut and then stitched onto the navy Ada. So, and back then it was really funny because it called for the navy. Now I have cat hair all over me. It called for navy fabric, and back then, and it was like, I don't know, 1996, and there was no online ordering, so it was hard to find navy blue fabric. So finally, one of my cross-stitch shops in the area back then, got it for me. They had to special order it. So it's like, you know, it's like this exotic thing, but I just love this. I made there's a big goof in it, but I don't know, nobody's ever noticed it. If you look really hard, you can see it. But I love this thing. I mean, I have it sitting out all the time. It's been sat on and leaned against, and cats have looked at it and probably, I don't know. But just thought I'd share that with you as one of my favorite things that I have ever stitched. So that is probably it for the week. My plans, let's see, I'd like to get back into rotation with stitching, and I want to start something new. Oh, and I decided that the Joyful World ones, oh yeah, I'll be right back. Remember Joyful World? My little monthly, that's the January one. You haven't seen that one yet, so you can see it. But I'm interchanging them in the frames. So I did get done with July, June, I don't know which one it was. Was it June? It was June. Yeah. I got done with it, and I showed that to you last time. I think the next one I'm going to try for is November. What do you think? Think I'll get it done by November? Yeah. Well, you know, I thought I would do October, but then I thought, man, there's so much stuff out for Halloween and for October and fall. And there's a lot of things out, of course, for December. So I thought it'd be nice to have like a little thing out all November. So I think what I'm going to do is start that one. I'll show it to you. It's peacocks. It's really cute, but I just love these. That's my goal for the week. I want to thank you for watching and keep commenting. Let me know if I'm doing okay. Let me know if the purple on my glasses is just too weird. I just got to remember to wear my other ones when I do this. Anything else you want to tell me? Give me your suggestions about my Kaleidoscope. Frame it, cushion, what? If there's another idea you have, let me know. Okay? So, thank you for watching. I will be back. And have a great week. See you again soon. Bye.